Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Down to the Jonesy and Amanda Arms for the pub test. Reduced speed limits for L's and P's. Does it pass the pub test?
So if you're a learner driver or a P1, you can only go at 90 Ks, no matter what the speed limit is. If you're a P2, you can go 100 Ks. But if you're driving on a road that's 110 Ks, how wise is it to be going less than everybody else? Is that safer or is it harder for you? That's what we're asking this morning. What do you, like Brendan, you were saying that there's no difference between, say, 90 and 100.
On the Hume Highway, on a 3-lane road, no, there's not.
But if it's 90 and the speed limit's 110?
If you're in a suburban street, yeah, there's a lot of difference. But there's been a lot of this hysteria about, 5 Ks over the speed limit. It's about, we've demonised speed so much, but it's not about its instinctive driving. That's
but
the
does
thing.
Does an L plater have any instinct?
Probably not. Probably not ready to go. But I'm talking more specifically about the major carriageways. I'm not talking about your back streets, your suburban streets.
No, but often, like I drive to the South Coast, and there'll often be an L plater or a P plater, and everyone tries to get around them, obviously, for the flow of traffic. Is that is that less safe for them or more safe for them to be going slower? That's what we're asking. Reduce speed limits for L plates, P plates. Does it pass the pub test?
I'm a truck driver, and there's this 100k zone, and people are just, I don't blame them because they don't want to speed because they're only restricted to 90. But it's 100k zone, so you get stuck behind them, and it's usually downhill where we can actually get up a bit of speed. They overtake us on the hills, and then we're stuck behind them all the way downhill. So they're like an obstruction on the road, you know what I mean?
I think that it's perfectly acceptable for learner platers to drive a little bit slower because what happens if we start to allow them to go faster, what happens is people get frustrated behind learners now. They can't travel at the speed limit. So if people behind you know that you can travel at the speed limit and you're not because you're a learner and inexperienced, you're going to get more frustrated.
Yeah, I think absolutely reduce the speed limit because there's so many of them now that are racing around like it's the Indy 500 in Sydney, doing like 160 zones and that. So I think ping them in a big way.
I reckon that, yes, the speed limit should be reduced for L&P platers. They don't have the experience to cope with anything that might go wrong, like an animal run out or an accident or a breakdown in front of them. They need to build up their experience, build up their confidence gradually to get to 110.
I reckon the speed limit should be dropped for L&P platers, as it is they drive recklessly. And just a point for Jonesy. He said there's no difference between 90 or 100. If he's ever done a defensive driving course, he would know there's a huge difference between 50 and 55. Forget about 90 and 100. The stopping distance increases hell of a lot.
Good on you, champ. 5. I've done 5 advanced driving courses, and 3 of them are motorcycle things as well.
How many accidents?
I'm just saying, the motorcycle, the risk is higher when you ride a motorbike. I ride a motorbike every day, but I'm just saying that there is an hysteria about this 5, but it's hard to articulate because it's when you're out there on the road. You've got to drive to the conditions.
Yes, but also you have years of experience.
Yeah, of course.
An L plater, P plater doesn't.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And maybe that's the way they do it. The government says, okay, if you're 5 Ks over the speed limit, then you're going to get in, you could cause an accident, which is probably, could be true.
Food for thought.
Food for thought.